wonderful people of Minneapolis. Open to stage your host, LaTroy!
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for hanging out. Just a little bit of business before we get you back on your way. Doing some more improv. There are a lot of things happening here at Huge Theater. The show 6 nights a week. HugeTheater.com is where you find out about all of them. One that we're very, very excited about is called Kabam! It happens on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. It is an improvised comic book. It was created by Steve Wacker, former editor of Marvel Comics, and imported to Minneapolis. You provide suggestions of hero names, of heroes that don't exist. We will improvise their origin stories and then their team adventure, and then present the cover that is of that team adventure that is drawn during the show by our resident comic artist. It is a super fun time. Saturdays, 8 o'clock. Get your tickets in advance. It's a blast. And also this show. This show has been running 15 years, entirely on word of mouth. So thank you for coming out to see live theater on a Sunday. If you enjoy it, please keep coming back, and we'll keep doing this forever and ever and ever. Deal?
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. You ready for more show? Woo! Put your hands together. Please welcome to the stage for the first time, The Event!
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Denzel, and I'll be presenting with you all The Event. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come out to you all and ask you about an event that a lot of people witnessed that you felt was a very important thing that you also personally felt changed by. And then what I'll do is I'll present you a series of character interviews from different people who the event affected. So, ma'am, would you, or sir, whichever one of you feels the most like up for it, you, can you name an event in your life that affected many people, including yourself? And it could be like a birthday or, you know, a car accident or really anything.
There was a time when I avoided a car accident by going into the wrong lane.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. I love that. Car accident, going into the wrong lane. Great. And that is the event. Yeah, okay. So I was working my shift at the gas station that night. It was a good night because people were there, and that's not always the case in Minot. I'm not from here. I don't know why I wound up here. The property tax is low, but you don't care, you already know. So I was working at the gas station, and why do I remember it? What else am I supposed to fucking remember? It was 2 weeks ago. So, I was ringing up, okay, someone, you're right, I don't remember everything. But I was ringing up someone, probably some cigarettes, because that's what you do in my And I looked across the street, and there were cars, which was weird, because it was kind of late in Minot, and it was a Sunday. And people like to go home, eat their dinner, and go to sleep, because there's nothing to do in Minot. So I was noticing, I was like, look, that's a pretty nice car. And then all of a sudden it was just like, what words? It changed lanes. You didn't catch that from the. Okay, it changed lanes. And when it did that, I thought that was very interesting because you only got 2 roads in Minot, coming and going. No. It's just one highway because fuck. But it changed, and I remember being like, oh, like, which is, I realized I hadn't felt jack shit since I started at the gas station because it's a gas station. You sell someone some peanuts. You buy yourself a little peanut. people pay for their gas if they come in. Credit cards. Yeah. I mean, people use credit cards inside, but you can go out to the pump and just go. But sometimes it's broken, and then I get to see people. Usually a bunch of college kids, super excited to leave, might not. Usually around the holidays, but it wasn't a holiday. It was just 2 weeks ago, and a car was moving. It changed lanes, and it was in the wrong lane. And I realized it had affected me because I was like, what's gonna happen? Which was like the first time in a while I had wondered, what's gonna happen? Which is a weird fact in life when you've been living it over and over and over, and you're just like, I know what's gonna happen. And then you're all of a sudden, life changes lanes on you. And you don't know what's gonna happen. And I thought that was fun, but it didn't change anything. It's not like, oh, this is a life-changing thing. I'm gonna sell my townhome and move to France and learn French and eat a baguette. But wouldn't that be something? So most of the tickets I write are speeding, right? Like I just know that code, right? That's like a 0076. You just, and because like people are trying to get the hell out of my lot, or whatever the kids say. So usually, I pre-write a bunch of the tickets. Because I'm just gonna be giving out speeding tickets. I'm just like, well, you show up to the station, you get out your ticket book, you write a few while you're having your cup of coffee, and then you don't have to do it later. So I was out there, just sitting in my car, playing a little Tetris on my phone. $2.99 on the App Store. Boom. Just like the past. And then, watching car. Oh, there goes a car speeding. Pull out one of the tickets, already pre-ripped too. And then you just go, woo, woo. You know what I'm doing. So then, then I'm like, oh, please, I don't want the ticket. I'm just trying to go drink in Fargo. Help me out. And I'm like, nope. Because these kids don't have no goddamn respect anymore, Like, it was like, I was born in 1963? I was born in 1963, April 17th. It's not coming up, so don't worry about it. We're not friends. You're just here. So, besides my birthday, no, wow, you are a man on a mission. Okay, so I was in my car, gave out some tickets earlier, and then, it's like, time to go get a coffee. But I can't drive too far from the small area I'm supposed to be patrolling because there's a lot of police in Minot, but there's not a lot of Minot. So I just decided to pop into the gas station real quick. I talked to this guy, and he had this laugh, and it bothered me. But I got some gas station coffee, a lot of sugar because it's gas station coffee. And as I was heading out back to my car, I see the damnedest thing, right? I see this car, and it just familiar with the streets, it's just like 2 lanes, right? It's just like 2 lanes. And it's just going in the one lane, all of a sudden it's trying to go in this lane, but this lane is like a this lane. Which doesn't make sense. And I guess I shouldn't care because there was just like no other cars on the road. But that's why I cared. Because there was no other fucking cars on the road. And it was like, whoa, what are you trying to do? You're trying to prepare yourself for NASCAR? Which doesn't make sense because you just... That's NASCAR, right? Indy 500, who gives a fuck? But it just changed lanes and I decided to let it go. And I can't tell you why I decided to let it go. I guess I was like, oh, yeah, it's just, it happened and I don't know why. And it's not a 0076. So what the fuck was it? So I just went back to my car, made sure I had all my 0076, all the extra ones, because I need to shred them because they all have a particular date on them. You know, because it's the day, if you don't have the wrong day, then someone challenges your ticket because they're a fucking douche. You have to be like, this is the right day. If it's not the right day, then, well, guess who's not getting part of their paycheck? Police officer. You need to do proper protocol. So I shredded them and I did the rest of my thing and that was my day, but you know, it is weird that like I still remember something like 2 weeks ago, you know? Because like shit, I can't even tell you like if I had a candy bar yesterday or I probably did. Probably a Snickers. Damn, that Snickers is good. But I just can't remember most details about my day, but that I think that might stick with me for a while, you know? You're not. Can I at least tell you why I was like just like outside? First of all, kudos for you for finding me. I do a lot of walking around. You know, gotta find shelter because you know I'm homeless. It's okay. You can laugh too. I laugh because therefore it's an easier thing. And you know, after about like, you know, it's hard for like the first 6 months because like all of your clothes are still clean and you still have like a little money, so you try to clean them, so you hold up appearances, but then you just say fuck it, and then you know, people are just like, well, you are homeless, and you're like, you are correct, sir. And they're like, you are dumb, and you're like, you are so wrong, sir. I just got buried in all fucking debt. And it took over my life, but that's not what you're here to talk about because no one ever wants to hear you talk about it, does it? You know what's really funny? I realized that the officer I talk to a lot, he does some weird shit with his hands. And I've been doing it sometimes. Isn't that weird? Like when you hang out with I'm not gonna say hang out with the police officer, but like when you hang out with people that you like all of a sudden you're like, oh, like if they're like, oh, shoot balls, and then you're just like, oh, shoot balls one day, and then your mom's like, what the fuck? And you're like, I don't know where that came from, and they're like, that's that bad influence of the kid down the street, and then you realize you became that kid down the street. But anyways, he does this weird snap, but I'm focusing on it now, so I don't know if I can do it. But it sort of has like a 1 snap, 2 snap, and then a weird like clap or a bump or I don't fucking know. Anyways, I was You are new to it, but if I see you in 6 months to a year, you're gonna be able to laugh at it, just like I have. So I was sitting there admiring this fucking patch of grass, right? This like fucking little thing that was able to keep growing, right? And it just got me thinking, like, you know, it's like you can't see the weeds for the flowers or something. I don't know, maybe it's a forest metaphor. I don't fucking know. You know, they didn't teach me that when I was studying medieval literature. Yeah. Oh man. Any school in North Dakota's kind of shit, you know. Like it really is. Like I went to the, you know, I went to the big town of Fargo and got my education, and I came back to Imont. There's like no fucking education, or like, what am I supposed to become a poet? The answer is no. I can't become a fucking poet in Minot. I guess I'm technically like a poet, but I'm also like homeless. And they're not like separate things, I guess. They don't have to be separate things. But I was married this fucking patch of grass, right? And I was like, you did it, grass. Everything around you sucks. This fucking patch of grass really, it really did something, you know? It survived, it thrived, it's living. It's kind of ugly, but it's doing it. I was like, what if I'm the patch of grass? Like, what if I could become, maybe I'm the dandelion that survives. And everyone tells it, oh, you're so ugly, dandelion. And dandelion's like, fuck off, I'm gonna make 50 of me now. So as I was thinking I might be the dandelion, I heard this car. I hear a lot of cars because I'm like out on the street. But I heard this like particularly this clean engine. You know, like a good, clean, new car engine, and it sort of made me think, oh, something new is happening in mine. You know, I'm gonna look up and see, and I saw this car, right? This really beautiful silver thing, like barreling towards me. Not like towards me, like I'm here, and then like you take like 15 more steps, then there's a road with 2 streets, and then there's just like nothing. So I'm over here next to my patch of grass, take some steps over, I guess look at this way, there's this beautiful silver thing coming towards me, and I'm like, what if I was that person? What if I were in this silver car? Maybe the silver car's coming to come and get me, you know? That'd be really cool. Like someone pops down and they're like, and they're holding one of those really big novelty checks, and they're like, you just won a lot of money. And I'm like, yay, thank you, Oprah. Or, I don't know. But the car was coming towards me, and then all of a sudden it felt like it was further away for a moment. So then I just like cleaned my eyes out real quick because I was like, fuck, I'm losing my eyesight. But no, so car, it jumps. I close my eyes, it's clearly not there anymore, it's still moving. I look over here, and fuck it. It was on the wrong fucking side of the street. And you know what? I thought to myself, I'm not that fucking bad of a driver. And I know that. Like, I passed my driver's test. Clearly this person bought a license, I don't know. But I thought if I have enough common sense to drive on the right side of the street, which is the right side of the street, yes, right. Okay. Then maybe I am doing something fucking good in my life, you know? I can't be the fucking dandelion, you know? Maybe I'll just one day. Wouldn't that be nice? It's a Kia Elantra. My dad bought it for me. And told me, go. So I did. And, well, when I came back to tell him, hey, fuck you, because that was actually pretty nasty of you. He did not let me back into the house. And I was like, well, fuck this then. I'm gonna go leave this shit place. Do you ever have the feeling that sometimes you can't escape what you think you're escaping, and then you're actually just running into a circle, and sometimes it just feels very overwhelming, and then you're like, we're surrounded by like all this heat. Well, sometimes you know, you're just going down a street. And you feel like the street will never end because it's fucking flat here in the Midwest. So you put on your fucking cruise control. You close your eyes for a moment. Because you're like, whatever. I'll open them and there'll still be road. I close them, I assume the road is there. So you just do that for a while. You just go, you close it for 1 second, open your eyes. Close them for 2 seconds, open your eyes. You close it for 15 seconds. You open your eyes and whoop! You're on the wrong side of the street. And then you pull over to the right side of the street. And you're like, well, that was fucking weird. But at least no one fucking saw it, right? Like, who gives a fuck? No one's here. Because it's just you and the fucking road. And it's not like no one really cares about anything that you do. Even the people that are supposed to fucking care about you don't. So like, why does it matter? So you just close your eyes again. And you see just how long you can close them. So you have to open them. And you know what happens when you open them? You still have fucking road in front of you.
The event.
Thank you all so much, but please keep that energy going for one of my favorite groups in town. Why, it's Bolly Prom!